All righty.
Are we recording?
Yes.
Oh. Welcome to 2021. Welcome to the Psychic Wise episode. This is our first episode of 2021, and we are very excited about today because we are going to do one of our favorite things of all, and that's readings. We're going to be doing live readings for two of our guests today. So I'm Ginger Hendry.
And I'm Jerry Carabin.
And we are going to start with Cindy, right? So we want Cindy to just do a quick intro. Just say hello.
Hi. Say hi, Cindy.
All right, we're going to get going with Cindy. So Cindy, what are we
Tell us a little, let's tell the audience a little bit about how we do this.
Okay.
You go ahead.
Okay, so today we are asking both of our readees to choose either an animal communication or an intuitive session. So we'll get to that in 1 second. So if we're going to be doing intuitive, we're going to connect with the person, with the readee, and we're going to ask sort of what they want us to look at. Jerry and I will connect, and we sort of tag team with each other, whatever information comes through, and then we sort of follow the path. It's kind of different. Well, it is definitely different than when you're doing your own, just, by yourself, because I'm picking up energy. Sort of Jerry and I hold each other up. So sometimes we can go back and forth pretty quickly. If we're doing an animal communication reading, then we connect with the person, pretty quickly. What we really want to do is just establish a connection. So when we bring their animal in, it helps us sometimes to go a little bit deeper. So we'll ask who the animal is, whether they're alive or past, and what kind of animal. We really don't want a lot of information. We want to see what the animal has to bring to us.
Yeah, I always say less is more. And I always tell people, don't, like if it's a dog, don't even tell me a breed.
Yeah.
Because that, I know a lot about dog breeds. So it's like, and when we say that, we're really just doing it for your benefit, because again, less is more. If you start to go on about like, if you were to say that, I have a whatever German Shepherd, I know a lot about German Shepherds. So then I'm questioning, is that coming from what I know about German Shepherds or your German Shepherd? Do you know what I mean? So that's why we always want.
Well, and here's the funny thing too. Sometimes people will say to me, do you need to see a picture? And Jerry and I we can read from pictures, but we don't typically read from pictures. And I say, you already know what your animal looks like. You already know the breed. I don't really need to know that. And sometimes it's cool, it's funny, or it's interesting, or the way that the animal comes through might come through in such a way that, maybe somebody, they show me themselves as a lap dog. And the person says, oh, I have a 50-pound pit bull, but she is a lap dog. And so, that's the way that it comes through. So we just really allow the animal, if we're going to be doing animal, to, to show what they want us to show, because it means something to their person.
Yeah. Also, full disclosure here, Cindy and I are good friends. So I remember, Ginger, when we were learning animal communication, remember when we were like going through classes and everything, you had to read the same people over and over and over. And used to kind of at first like panic you a little bit, because it's like, oh my God, I've already read this person. But then you kind of are allowed to go deeper and deeper and deeper. Do you know what I mean? So we lost Ruth for a second. Hopefully she'll pop back in. But so it's going to be interesting to see. So Ginger's probably going to go first, and I'm going to be like, like connecting on what she connects with. It's going to be interesting. So
anyway, because I think you'll be able to go maybe we'll see a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Because you do have that connection. Yeah. Because now we trust it. Like you said, when we were practicing early on, like, oh, did I already know that? Am I just, is that me? And
but
now
we did find that we did find that you went deeper into kind of the relationship. I hope that's not scaring the crap out of you, Cindy, because
don't speak your truth.
She knows this stuff. That's funny. Okay.
Disconnect. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Okay. So what are we doing? Are we doing animal or?
I have a male cat that's alive.
Okay, and what's the cat's name?
Willie.
Willie? Okay, I get a funny picture of Willie. The picture that he shows me of himself is he's standing like he's going to walk away from us, but he's looking over his shoulder. Let me see, because I get a feeling around that.
Well, it's really funny because when she said that, and I know Willie, but when she said that, it feels like Willie today is like, I always get a word to start and it's testing.
That's what it feels like. It
Exactly.
feels like,
So when you just said like looking over your shoulder, I was starting to laugh because he gave me the word testing. It feels very much to me like Willie is like, obviously he knows like what's happening right now.
yeah,
And it feels like he's a little bit like, okay, not testing us, testing her.
yes.
Like it feels like testing Cindy. Now I know Cindy, so it feels to me like it's that testing of how deep will she let them go.
Yeah. Yeah, I get the same thing, and it's almost like it's very similar thinking, is she going to allow us to see what he wants us to see or what he thinks should be seen? Does that make sense?
Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Does it make sense to you, Cindy? Because it makes a lot of sense to me. Okay.
Yeah.
See, yeah. See, we're diving in right away. Okay. Keep going, Ginger.
He's telling me that there is something that you want, Cindy, there's some question that you have that he wants you to be more verbal about. I don't know if it's in regards to him or in general, but there's this feeling of you holding your voice back, but him thinking that you should speak this out loud. It's either speaking out loud or questioning something out loud. It's like something's perking around in your head or in your heart, like you're carrying, but it needs to come out, and it has something to do. I hate to say because it sounds so trite, self-empowerment or something, but it feels something along those lines. Like I need to speak up for myself. There's something that I want. There's some question I have, and I haven't spoken it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
And when she's saying that again, this is going back to Willie going like this, or whatever. There's also in the middle of that testing thing. So, but it feels like these were two separate things. There's like drawing you away thing. Now, full disclosure here, I see Cindy shares pictures sometimes of these cats. They go for walks at night. Like they all go out and they go for walks.
Well, Ginger, when you said looking over your shoulder, like the visual I got was like him, like, are you coming on this walk today or not?
Yeah, they literally go out on walks or whatever. But this is really interesting because what he's doing, Cindy, is he's like, he's the way I'm saying it, he's drawing you away. There is definitely this feeling of you needing to be in this space, trying to draw you into this sort of alone, safe space by yourself, away from everything, for a clearing of head kind of feeling, for this is the only way that we're going to be able to make this decision. It can't be made right here. It needs to be drawn away. Does that make sense to you, the way I'm trying to describe that? Like, it's almost like, away in a hotel for a weekend by yourself. Like this kind of thing. Drawing away are the words that he was giving you. And that was, again, that come this way, come this way, come this way. And then there was a come this way, come this way, come this way. And then a whoosh, go that way, go that way, go that way. But you alone.
Yeah, and there is this feeling of, I guess that makes sense. Well, maybe you tell me, Cindy, if it makes sense, but this, let's say Jerry said decision, but this voicing of something that you need or want, or that it needs to be, there's a phrase like, I like to be Dr. Phil, but I think it's a Dr. Phil phrase. You got to name it to claim it. That's what it feels like. There's something
I just
there.
heard declare it.
What's that?
I just heard declare it.
Okay.
Declare it. Yeah.
Name it, to claim it, declare it. Yeah. Something, putting a stake in the ground, something stronger than just you thinking about it. It's deciding on it.
There's also this feeling of Willie, like he just gave me, I've got you. So it feels like Willie is not a cat. Willie is like human, like teammate kind of thing, the way he sees it. So it's almost like, I've got you, girl, go ahead, do your thing, I'll hold down the fort kind of thing. And I know there's another cat in the situation, and he's very much, how do I say this? It feels like I play a role for her and for you with her, but in his mind, he knows that you guys are like here and the rest of the family is here. Do you know what I mean? But you
Yes.
guys are like here. And there's this feeling of, honestly, I've got you, but depend on me more, depend on me more, depend on me more. And it feels like conversation between the two of you can be taking place that will be helpful. I don't know if that means, if that makes sense to you, but like I'm visioning at night when everybody else is asleep, you talking to him, like having a regular conversation. I have to say this. I remember when, whenever they plop something into my head, it has to come out. Because it's like, okay, why is that in my head? Do you know what I mean? I remember years ago, before I started doing animal communication, I would like leave my dogs to go on vacation, and they would go to a kennel, and I'd be like, what? Mommy will be back in 5 moons early, something stupid like that. I mean, when you're baby talking kind of to them or whatever. And then once I started doing this type of work, it's like when you do that, it's like, it's like an eye roll from them, you know what I mean? Because they're like, so the reason I'm saying that is it's like just a human conversation. It's like, Willie, this is how I'm feeling. What do you think I should do about that kind of thing? It feels like he's a much stronger, oh, here's what he's giving me. Again, it's that I've got your back. Like you can let your guard down when it's just you and him. Like you don't have to take care of him. Like he's saying, lean on me a little bit more and let me take care of you. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Ginger,
Yeah.
are you?
Yeah, I mean, I think that goes along with what I was getting about her being able to speak what she needs, speak the direction that she wants. And if it's to Willie, that's awesome, because he does show me him with her. But it is a real, like getting whatever it is inside of her out verbally.
Yeah. And it's like a clearing the path kind of thing, is
Yeah.
getting it out verbally. And full disclosure, I, again, know Cindy, and you tend to put everything else before you. You tend to be the caretaker. Let me caretake to the detriment of yourself.
Yes.
So it's like you don't ask for what you need. It's like, and I feel like there's this future date that once that's all taken place, then I can focus on me. And that future date is never going to come, because when you get to there, this is going to come. When you get to there, this is going to come. When you get to there, this is going to come. So I understand what Ginger is saying about asking it, declaring it. And I really think that by verbalizing, this is what I need, this is what I need, this is what I need, as opposed to holding it in, something's going to shift. And I know law of attraction. So something is going to shift there. Do you have a specific question for Willie?
Does he feel safe in our home?
I get sort of a sort of like holding the paws up. Yeah, the feeling is I feel safe wherever I am. This feeling that he's not saying that he's powerful, but that's the feeling that I get from him. I can take care of myself. I am, I'm okay. This is not about me. No worries about me. I'm good. I'm not picking up anything on safety.
I'm not picking up, I'm picking up the same thing. I'm good. I feel like he is playing middleman a little bit. I feel like his duty is to you. So I feel like he's, how do I say this? Not taking the hit for you, but he's between you and the other stuff. He's between you and the other stuff. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I was just going to ask you, Jerry, that feeling that you're getting, is that energetically? Because I can see that energetically with him. When you say holding off, is it an energetic?
Yeah, I almost feel like in the shamanic world, we have what we call bands of protection.
Yep.
Given to our body. So I know that when I'm out in a certain position, if I'm uncomfortable, I can push those bands out. Yep. And you can, and I can, so it gives space around me. Yep. Does that make sense, Ginger? Did I answer your question?
Because that's what I see with him. It's an energetic thing. I mean, it feels
almost like a buffer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, like a middleman, a buffer, something like that. Yeah. Where it's and it feels like he's purposely putting himself between you and this. But he's taking me back to what I said before. What did I say before? I've got your back. I've got your back. Oh, remember when I was talking about the other cat? It was like, it may look like, this is kind of what he's saying. It may look like I'm being bullied or being, taken advantage of or
Harassed.
something like that. But he's like, it doesn't bother him like that. It's more like, he just gave me the word deflection. So it's more like he's taking that for you. Like it's almost like he's trying to keep people busy for you. I don't know how I'm describing that or how I'm getting that.
I want to use the words again, not because we use the same buzzwords, but it does feel like he's holding space. That's what it feels like. He's holding that space for you. He's not bothered by whatever's happening with him. He's good. He's solid. He's safe.
Yeah.
Well, and to me the holding space thing to me also goes to that, you telling me to go off for a weekend. So while in this moment in time, I can't necessarily do that, it sounds, what I'm hearing is that within my own home, he's trying to help create that space that I can't physically go out and do.
Yes. Okay. That feels good to me. So it feels like do you have another question for him?
Is there anything that he needs from me that sorry, besides tuna, that I'm not currently providing? Or anything else?
To me, he's really very much about you right now.
Exactly.
He's really very much about protection mode of you right now, and that space. And when I say protection mode, I don't mean like, like, oh my God, something's coming for you. But in that space for you. And so there doesn't feel like there's anything he needs. It's funny because he's showing me that walk. And it's like, he's like, oh, look at the little kids. Do you know what I mean? Like, again, he's showing me he's with you, he's with you, he's with you. And they're over there. That he feels that way. So again, it feels very much protection. Again, not that I wish I had another word. I'm not the protection word because that sounds so dramatic. But I think he's doing this on purpose. Like, hey, look, I'm allowing. Look, I got this. I got this. I'm allowing. I got this. I'm allowing. I got this. Go do your thing. I got this. Go do your thing. And yes, it can be in your house, in your room with the door shut or whatever. It's almost like he's the babysitter or the, he's willing to take that on.
Right. Because when you said, is there anything that he needs from me? What I heard from him was, this is a time that you need to worry about your own needs. This is a time for you to concentrate on your own needs. I'm good. Everything's good.
Yeah. Good kitty.
He feels strong to me. I mean, he feels, I say powerful before, and I know that's a dramatic word, but that's what he feels like to me.
Yeah. Me too. I'm not getting anything. There's nothing about Willie at all. He's, there's a laid back, like, kind of thing about him. But again, he's showing, there's times it feels like he's almost, I don't want to say faking it, but allowing the other kitty to do what she feels she has to do to make her feel a certain way, almost. You know what I mean? Like there's a caregiver thing in him too. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But he's not, it doesn't feel like he's bothered by it.
At all.
At all. Yeah. Lord love Willie's heart.
I know.
Cool. Well, thank you for that.
Thank you, ladies. That was awesome.
So let's just ask, if we can, just for the listeners, for you, Cindy, is there anything that maybe you could, you don't have to dive a little deeper, but in this reading, things that sort of resonated with you or that you understood, or if you could just help maybe explain anything?
Well, I want to start with like the kind of the strength part of the cat. So Willie is a all gray Maine Coon looking cat. And at this time of year, he has this very majestic, puffy collar. So when you said that, like I maybe someplace I'll post a picture of, you know, him sitting on one of our walks. There's a rock wall and he will sit observing the pride land with his majestic collar. So that's one thing that I wanted to share. We are in, I don't know, lockdown, whatever, like, but have been basically home for almost 300 days. I do have a child who is now doing virtual school. So the being at home with 2 cats and a kid for 300 days, it's getting long.
I get it.
Right? So
Yeah.
you totally get it. So that space thing totally makes sense. And then yeah, even within the home of, you know, finding our own space or his own space or my own space. So that totally resonated. And I think even with my current I'll say job path, to me, that's where I get the declaration thing of, you know, really this year getting very clear on who and how I serve people.
Awesome.
So absolutely, it all resonated.
Good, good, good.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Cindy,
Thank
for
you,
that. We
Cindy.
really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, ladies.
So Ruth, who now is Irene's phone.
I had, what happened? I don't know.
Yeah, you went away and we're like, hopefully Ruth comes back, but okay. Cool. So Ruth, are you ready?
I am.
Okay, so Ginger and I are going to just take a second and clear. Okay, so Ruth, what do you want to, are we reading an animal or are we reading you?
I think I want you to read me.
Okay, cool. All right, Ginger, do we want to connect with her first and then ask?
We'll connect and then see which direction you want us to go in.
Okay, cool. All right, so hold on one second, Ruth. We're going to connect with you and start sharing whatever comes up. Excuse me.
Hey,
Go ahead.
okay. I was gonna say, I know this probably happens to Jerry too, because I do get words that I hear, and I hear a few words at the same time with you. One of them that comes through the strongest is well, I get two at the same time, which are whatever. But one is friend. It feels like you're a good friend, you're a loyal friend, you're a friend that people rely on. And there's a softness about the energy that you give to friends. Let me see what that is about.
I'm the same way, and I get a, I'm sorry, Ginger, were you going back in or were you?
No, the other thing that I did get, and we can go a little deeper on that in a minute, I just get a little bit of tentativeness. That's the word that I hear, and we can talk about that in a minute. But what are you getting around the friend? You getting the same energy, Jerry?
I didn't get friend. It's so funny because we both start like, this is the way my readings have gone. I literally am given a word to start with every time. So then when you say that, it's always like, how cool would it be if it was the same word? You know what I mean? So I'm always like, oh. So my word was path. And there was a moving forwardness about this, moving forward this. I totally agree with what Ginger's saying, almost to a slight detriment. It feels like caregiver. Now, when I say caregiver, that doesn't necessarily mean like, you know, I'm caring for someone in my family. It oftentimes means that just you put a lot out for everybody else and little for yourself. So you're worried a little bit more about other people, and you're, you know, that's the kind of person that you are. You take care of other people in some way. But it feels like there's this, when I get the word path, it feels like there's this like, hey, like it's been just starting to open up for you, like, hey, you know, that's a cool path that I think I might want to go towards, like, and it feels like the very beginning of something opening up for you, and a little part of you saying, you know, it's not like dramatic, like, doggone it, I'm not going to take this anymore, but it's like a little bit like, hey, maybe it's me time now. And I think I want to kind of look and delve into that. Does that make sense to you, what we're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been going on for a while.
For a while. Okay, yeah. And timing thing, I always say that to people, don't worry about, timing is linear in our world and it's not in the energetic world. So when I say it's just starting, it could have been, 50 years. You know what I'm saying? So don't worry about that. But it does feel like it's imminent. I want to say it's imminent, like something is about to present itself, like some either modality or direction or something. Like it may have been going on for a while, but now all of a sudden it's going to be like poof, like, oh God, I'm interested in this thing. Do you know what I mean, Ginger?
Yeah, and I want to go back to the friend thing because I think that does sort of dovetail what you're saying, Jerry. That caretaking energy that I picked up on friends, maybe what we're seeing is some of the tentativeness there, not being able to put yourself first or allowing that energy, that caretaking type energy to sort of hold off what's happening. I can't really go this way because I have this thing or these things that I need to take care of. So Ruth, let's see if that makes sense first. And then what do you want us to look at so we hone in on an area? Does that?
I want to say this one more thing. First of all, I just got the words ducks in a row. So it feels like, Ruth, that you're kind of the kind of person that you need give me all the information and let me make the decision. Give me this, let me make the correct decision. Like, in other words, it doesn't feel like you're a fly by the seat of your pants kind of person. Like, woo, yeah, dive into that kind of thing. It's more of like, okay, let me look into that. Let me see if that's the right thing for me. So there's a ducks in a row kind of thing there. Does that make sense? Am I explaining that right, correctly? Do you know what I mean? Like kind of doing the work, doing the research a little bit, figuring it out.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. So what were you asking, Ginger? Like, go ahead. So what is what would you like us to kind of focus on?
Well, what do you see coming my way? I mean, I know I can manifest whatever I want, but what I'm working on is that, am I going in the right direction for the way I'm going about manifesting my 2021? Does that make sense?
It does.
Like-
Yeah. So I'm getting a little bit of, walls up kind of, and it feels like one step forward, three back, one step forward, three back. But here's the thing. It feels to me like the thing that is in your way is you. A little bit of overthinking and how do I manifest this and how do I make this happen and as opposed to the allowing of it. Here's the thing, I'm very much into the law of attraction, and the law of attraction is very much 1, ask, 2, it's given, 3, get out of the way. This feels like a getting out of the way part is the problem. And I don't want to say the problem like it's a problem. It's just that you're like, okay, come on, let's do this. Do you know what I mean? So it's a little bit of a, let me, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? As opposed to, this is what I want. I'm so psyched for it. I'm going to allow it. So it's like, it feels to me like it's a little bit of you're in your own way, trying. Oh, there it is. The word trying. We used to always say to like Ginger can probably attest to this when we were like TAing for students and everything. When they were first starting animal communication, we'd be like, and they'd be like, I'm trying. And we'd be like, stop trying and allow it. Do you feel the difference between those two, trying and allowing? Yeah. Ginger?
Yeah, I was getting trust. So I think it goes to the same thing that you were saying, Jerry, and it's more of a trust in the process. It's not that you don't have, although what I see is more than one direction. I don't see one particular thing. I think there are more than one way to go down the path, or one path at a time kind of thing. And it doesn't feel you're 100% certain of which direction that you want to go in. And so it feels like there's just a little bit of a, when I say tentativeness or pulling back, it's where do I pull the trigger? Which one do I pull the trigger on? And it feels like you're thinking that I have to go one way or the other, instead of opening up to allow whatever would come through on all those paths. I don't know if I'm making sense when I say that. Do you know what I mean by that?
I just recently changed. I was, a means to the end. and I was laser beam focused on one way. And then recently I said, wait a minute, maybe that's not the way I want to attain. So I've recently changed.
So
Okay.
this is good because I'm picking up the same thing that what did you say, Ginger? Not 100%.
Well, not 100% sure that you were going in, or
Right.
that you need to go
Okay,
in
so-
one direction. It
Right,
feels
so when you
like,
said that not 100% sure, there's a discomfort with you of not being 100% sure. I need to know exactly where I'm supposed to go. Tell me now where I'm supposed to go, and then I'm going to fight my way to go that way. As opposed to, let me see where I'm supposed to go, because I know I'm going in the general correct direction.
yeah,
So we're going from here, like I'm going to hang here for a while, and now it's going to be here, 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 and hone in on it. But it's okay to be just general at the beginning. Does that make
Because, yeah.
sense? As opposed to wrestling it down like, oh shoot, I thought I was supposed to go this way. Now I'm not. Now I have to go 100% this way.
Right.
Maybe it can just be, let's hang around in this area for a little bit. Does that
Yes,
make
because
sense?
I get a lot of energy around what you just said, Jerry. A lot. There's a lot of potential around loosening the path, loosening
Yes.
the one way down. If you can loosen that, I feel like there's a lot of energy there that you can be fluid to move through. And I don't know what we're exactly talking about. Maybe at the end you can tell us what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But it does feel like there's a lot of potential for you if you
And-
can loosen that expectation, let's say, of
So-
going in one way.
Yeah, and so this popped into my head again. When it comes in, you have to say it. So there was this workout that I used to do, right? And it was intention-based workout. It was the hard as hell workout, and you're sweating like a dog, but it was intention-based. And at the very end, they would say, what I desire is on its way, and it's coming to me in greater amounts than I could ever imagine. This is the vision I choose to hold in a state of love and gratitude. The point of this is, and I always have to remind myself, God, Spirit, Universe, whoever you follow, believe in, call it, is giving it to you so much better than you can give it to yourself. So when we're trying to, okay, I got to be 100% that way. No, that didn't work. No, I got to be 100% this way, or kind of wrestling it to the ground or trying to make it happen the way we think it should happen, we're actually getting in the way of it. So it goes back to that faith thing that Ginger was saying, just a little bit of like, okay, you know what? This is what I want. I am so psyched that I'm moving in this right direction. Not quite sure where it's taking me. I'm going to feel my way through this. What feels good to me? This feels good. Oh, wait, that doesn't feel good anymore. Okay, now I'm going to veer in this direction. And now this does feel good. And when that stops feeling good, I'll go over here. And it's okay to do that. A lot of times it feels like this is coming in too. Like we've been brought up, Ginger and I both, I know this, we're both corporate world for years. And there's a certain way you do it, da, 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 da. And so that was hard to get out of, that it doesn't have to be an absolute answer to something, and that feeling your way through it is a little bit better. Does that resonate with you a little bit? Do you understand?
It does.
what
It
I'm saying
does.
there? Okay. All right.
Oh,
Do you have anything else there, Ginger?
No, but I feel like I need to say that there is so much potential around whatever direction this is, not one piece, but around it. And again, I don't know what that is, but there feels like there's a lot of energy behind you to move in such a way that you're going to be happy, grateful. I don't have the words.
I'm with you. This feels like really big and really good, like really
Yes.
satisfying, really strong, really I want to say this is weird, but really strong in an easygoing way.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
fluid.
It
It's
just feels,
fluid.
whatever this is, feels like, oh my God. Like if you just are like, they're giving me the word guided. Like if you allow yourself to be guided, I think that's it right there. If you allow yourself to be guided as opposed to, via God, Spirit, Universe, whatever you call it, as opposed to trying to make it happen the way you think it's going to happen, it's like mic drop kind of thing. Does that make sense to you, Ruth?
it does.
Okay, so I'm dying for you to talk.
I am too.
I'm dying for you to tell us what the hell we're talking about here.
Well, I know we had a session on the phone, Jerry, and it's the whole COVID thing, and our business is kind of one of those businesses that did not flourish, that took a hit because of all this, right? But that was my thought was always the business, if the business can just get back, blah, 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 to I've decided that, all the things you want, you want this, you want that. My greatest joy comes from relaxing and chilling out and gardening. And I don't want to get to my abundance and prosperity through, that path of work.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. But, how do I get to where I want to be? I'm not saying I want a jet. I just want to relax. All my kids are grown. They're on their own. And I think, what brings me joy? What makes you happy? That's what we're here for. What
Yeah.
makes you happy? It's not sitting in that office all day. Guaranteed.
Yeah. So this is perfect though, Ruth, because, okay, so you're talking about gardening and everything. Doesn't that feel like what I was saying before? It's like this big thing and then
Mhm.
So here you are gardening, and you're just out there gardening. I'm just going to garden. I'm just going to feel the joy. And then you start to get little like, ooh, this came into my head. And now I'm gardening and I'm feeling the joy and I'm thinking about this really cool thing. And now, ooh, maybe I could do this with this. And you see how it would kind of hone in. So it doesn't even matter if you don't know what it is yet.
Right.
Yeah, it definitely does not matter because there's energy around you moving whichever way you want to move. I love that you said chilling and relaxing because that's the feeling that I was getting of moving through whatever this was. And so it feels, well, we're all exactly where we're supposed to be, but you definitely feel like you're exactly where you need to be or should be.
Yeah, and it's interesting because that's where, full disclosure, I did not remember that we had a session. And full disclosure, please don't, and I always say that to my clients, please do not get angry about that because we purposely try not to remember. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I take notes when doing a thing and then I crumple them up and throw them away. So I don't know what happened the last time. But now that you're saying this, I think there was a business, it went down. And it was trying to get the business. Should we keep going? Should we keep going? Should we keep going? But then it's forget it. But this makes sense to me about what I was saying, there was walls up, and how I was saying, or not walls up, the corporate, we have to do this, we have to do this. So this is really funny because you're used to being in this business. You have to think this certain way. You have to make these decisions. They have to be 100% correct. And now all of a sudden you're gardening. You know what I mean? So it's this transition that you're into of, I had to be this way, I had to be this way. And so it's this transition of letting go of knowing 100%. There's also a feeling of you giving yourself permission about this. There's a little bit of guilt around I'm just gardening and I love this and that's all I want to do, but oh crap, I shouldn't be doing this. I'm supposed to be doing something else. No. Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
The visual I just got was going from black and blue pens and you just got handed the 64 crayon box.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So how do you feel about this, Ruth?
I feel good, and I still feel like I'm in my way. Definitely, because how could it be that simple when I know everything I listen to and read, and that's the answer is find your joy, and it will take care of itself.
Yes.
But the logical mind, even after all these years, says, wait a minute.
Yes.
That's not going to work.
Yeah. And that's that mind, that corporate mind that you can't, years and years and years and years and years, we've been taught to think this certain way. And now all of a sudden you're just going to sit here and garden and see what comes your way. When it's really funny because for us as humans and everything we've been taught, that's the wrong way to do it. But God's spirit universe, your guides, all that stuff is yes, you know what I mean? When you get to that point where you're doing it, that's what they want, because then that's when you get the ideas and the path lights up for this amazing thing that you can do to bring joy to yourself and others and whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, what I desire is on its way. It's coming in greater amounts than I can ever imagine. All you have to do is garden and all that stuff's coming to you.
Right.
But it's counterintuitive to what we think as humans.
Oh, it definitely is counterintuitive. I mean, even you and I, Jerry, I mean, you know, sometimes we'll be talking about the ways our intuitive businesses work. And there's one piece of the intuitive business that seems to at a standstill. And you think, should I market it? Should I push it? Should I? And we've both said, let it go. You know, we do a lot of different things. Whatever needs to come in, we're open to that coming in.
Yeah.
And so our businesses shift and change that way.
Yeah. And every time, and Ginger and I have this conversation quite frequently, every time we push it, we realize, okay, hands off the wheel. I call it Jesus take the wheel.
Yeah.
You know, and it like hands off the wheel, because every time I try to push it, it like, it feels wonky and it doesn't work. And the second I say, oh, screw it, and I walk away, everything starts going ping, 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 and like falling into place. And these are just constant reminders of this. The law of attraction is a wonderful, powerful, beautiful thing that we fight constantly. You know what I mean?
Right.
We fight it. Yeah, we fight it.
And I love
So-
that you recognize, Ruth, and because I think you said it, that abundance, I mean, obviously we need money to live, so I'm
Right.
not being trite about that, but abundance is in all different ways, abundance of relationships, of love, of support, of peace of mind.
Oh yeah,
So recognizing that abundance means everything.
everything, everything. Yeah, so that is awesome, you guys. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
Yay.
for that. We love doing these readings. And hey, Cindy, you had said that, hey, maybe I'll post a picture of Willie. So what we'll do after this is we'll go ahead and post something in the Facebook group. If you guys want to, you know, Cindy, post a picture of Willie, and Ruth, keep, you know, let us know what else has come up or what you've realized or stuff like that. We really want to continue to do more of these live readings. Or recorded readings on here, but then do some live readings over in the Facebook group. So everybody can see that, because I mean, this is our thing, right, Ginger? Like, this is our jam. I said this to somebody the other day that, you know, I love what I do. I
do
love what I do. I love it so much. And it's just, I'll do this till, because somebody was like, oh, when do you think you'll retire? I go, retire? Like, why would I stop doing this? This is
That's
the
why I say to my
best
husband, unless I'm senile, I can continue.
thing. Yeah,
to
yeah, unless it stops
Barry,
working.
stop me if I'm senile.
Yeah, if I see if I'm Ginger, nah. Yeah, we both have to have each other's back, or we'll just be reading each other on Zoom. Like senile sitting here reading each other on Zoom. Just the two of us, 85 years old. You know.
Thank you both. This was great.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you both so much for this. This was awesome.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank
It's
you,
the
ladies.
best way to start the new year with readings like this. So yeah, Ginger, you want to wrap us up?
Yes, thank you for all of today, and thank you to our listeners who stuck through this whole episode. We will have more, as Jerry said, of doing live readings on our Facebook page at the Psychic Wives on Facebook. Our website, thepsychicwives.com, and obviously if you're listening, you likely found us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. So thank you.
We're
Thank
going to
you.
be coming back to YouTube. So for those of you
That's
that are
right.
interested in that, we're coming back to YouTube in the very near future.
Yep, and we will let you know when. So thank you all, and have a lovely day.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.